everyone, it's Ellen from Pet Harmony here with Griffey to talk about nose targeting. Now, nose targeting is one of my favorite behaviors to teach, and I teach it to almost every animal I work with, regardless of species, because it is so versatile in what it can do for me in the future. Now, what do I mean by nose targeting? By that, I mean whatever's on the front of your face, your muzzle, your beak, your nose, put other option here, is going to touch some sort of target. With dogs, I start usually with my hand because I always have my hand with me. It's always available. I can always pull it out and use it wherever I am. You can use a variety of objects. In birds, we've used like a buoy on a stick or a yogurt lid, or eventually, if you're working with your dog and you'd like to do some muzzle training, this can be a really nice start to training a muzzle with your dog. So, there are a couple ways to start. First one, pick your preferred hand position. This is what's going to tell your dog that right now on the table is if you touch your nose to my hand in this position, food is available. That can be an open palm, it can be a fist, it can be 2 fingers. What you want to be careful of is to not use a hand position that you're already using. So if you've taught your dog to stay and this is your stay, you may want to pick a fist or 2 fingers. If you've used a fist for maybe the shell game, you may want to pick an open palm. Take stock of what you've already taught your dog and go from there. With Griffey, I have taught him a lot of nose targets because it's really valuable behavior. So for him, I use an open palm. And this is a good boy. For this, how we're going to start is we're going to present our hand pretty close to our dog's face. We don't want them to startle. If your dog startles, you can start farther back, but we present it close enough that they're interested in investigating it. Now, I've been manipulating some treats this whole time, so my hand is a little stinky. Griffey's probably more likely to investigate my hand because it has that food smell on it. So, for a dog who is ready to rock and roll, like Griffey always is, we're going to present the hand close to his face, a couple inches. If he moves towards it, we're going to click, mark, say yes, and then treat once our hand has removed from the picture. We want to reset that. So what it's going to look like, if this is my target hand, this is Griffey, as I feel him coming closer, I'm going to get those whiskers, or if your dog has a really furry muzzle, you'll feel that hair. As I feel that cold nose touch, I'm going to click, and then I am going to treat him. So it may look a little something like this. That was a late click. Okay, go ahead, lay down. So you saw I started to move it. For Griffey, he is an expert at this. You may want to move it a little bit as your dog is becoming more proficient, as they're getting quicker, or they're looking for your hand to present out, so that you are varying the way it presents. We don't want our hand target to mean only touch my hand when I present it 2 inches to the left of your cheek. We want our hand target to mean wherever you are in the world, you're going to come touch my hand. Like, this is so worth it for you. If your pup is a little nervous about approaching the hand, doesn't want to, you can try different hand position. Sometimes dogs, for whatever reason, preference or history, we don't really know, can't know, would prefer to approach, say, a closed fist to an open palm or 2 fingers or something along those lines. So if your dog is a little nervous of approaching an open palm, go ahead and try presenting a closed fist. So it would look like that. Same process, just a different hand position. If your dog is still nervous, we can use a food lure. Now, it's going to be very important with this that we fade this out quickly so that the food doesn't become part of a picture. Remember how I mentioned we don't want it to be only touch my hand when I present it 2 inches from your left cheek. I also don't want it to be only touch my hand when you smell the food in my hand. So, if you're using a fist, it's very easy. You're going to present, gotta make sure I have this mechanically correct. You're going to present your fist with a piece of kibble in it. Go ahead and treat from your other hand, though. So if I have my fist, I have my kibble, I'm going to present, he's going to touch, and then I am going to give him another piece of kibble. And kibble from the other hand. If you're using an open palm, you can put that kibble, I don't know if you can see that. You can put that kibble right between some of your fingers, present your hand, and then treat from the other hand. We want the treat to come not from the treat that is in our hand. Do that 5 times, remove the lure from your hand, and then go ahead and continue on your nose to hand target. So your dog's doing a really good job. Kind of like Griffey, super quick, he's making contact frequently, he's able to do it, I don't know, in a variety of, a variety of locations within 6 inches from his head. We can go ahead and change the difficulty a little bit. So we can present it farther away. I can present it higher. I can present it a little bit behind him. I can even toss the treat over there, so as he approaches, he has to touch my hand. Now he's ready to rock and roll. So you can gradually make it a little bit harder for your pup. This can be a really fun game. This can be like Marco Polo in the house as you're building up so that we're getting around blind corners. Now, if we're going to do blind corners, we also need a way to call them to tell them that an open hand is on the table. I can't just like have Griffey in the living room present my open palm and expect him to come find me. He's very in tune with me, but he's not that good. So I want to add a verbal. Pick a word. Doesn't matter what it is. Boop, touch, nose, target. I don't know. Be creative. This can be a fun thing. This is a fun behavior. Make it fun. So I'm going to have my word. For him, I'll go ahead and use boop this time because he has all the other ones already learned. I know you're a good boy. I'll say my word. Quick breath. Present my hand. As he touches, click and treat. So it might be boop. 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 So now, as a test, I'll put that over there. Can go that way. Thank you, good boy. I can say boop, and he'll come running over. Now, I said earlier that I like this because it's such a nice foundation behavior for so many other things. Among those, you can have husbandry behaviors, so muzzle training, stationing for a stethoscope. You can have trick training, so spin in either direction, crawl across the floor, crawl under a chair, get on top of things. You can also use it out in the real world. So Griffey, if you've heard me talk about him, because I talk about him a lot, is my reactive guy. He's dog reactive, out on leash, cries, barks, lunges, screams, runs around at the end of the leash, thinks that the world is going to end. One of the ways that I can help keep him safe is to be more vigilant about what's going on in the environment. Now, when we're on a walk, I'm very in tune with him, so I need a time to be able to disconnect from him, mostly, and scan to make sure everything's okay. What I taught him was the nose to hand target. He goes until he hears the click. It gives me a chance to scan the environment while he is engaged with my hand. I can look over there, I can look over there, and I know where he is because his head is making contact with me. You have the head, you know where the rest of the body is. So it's a really nice out in the world behavior as well. You good boy. Okay. So with that, go forth, have fun. Let us know what you taught with a nose to hand target to your dog. Where do you use it? Give us some new ideas. There's 101 plus, of course, ways to use this. Let us know what you came up with. Thanks.